Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Peaceful Heart Studio. My name's Vicky and I'm going to show you today how you can make prints from your artwork at home using just a laptop and an A4 scanner, okay? And today I'm going to demonstrate how you can turn an A3 picture such as this into an A4 print such as this. And also I'm going to, in the second part of the video, show you how you can turn like a little painting or something which is on a texture background, remove the background and have a little print of this as well. So there's lots of ways you can do this. You can use photography equipment, which obviously is quite expensive. You need to know what you're doing with the lighting and things. You probably hire companies to do this for you. I can imagine that's very expensive. You can post your artwork off to professional companies that will scan, who have the large scanners and things that can scan your artwork for you and make prints or send you JPEGs and things of your artwork. But like most artists, we're on a budget. We haven't got the money to be spending on the companies doing these things for us. So today I'm going to show you how you do it on a budget, okay? So let's get started. So first of all, I'm going to show you how you can scan an A3 sized picture such as this on the A4 scanner. I just want to say first, this is not for sale. This is a drawing I did a while ago. It's a copyright photo. I know I can't sell prints of this, but the only other A3 pictures I have to demonstrate are of commission pieces that people have paid me to do, their family and things. I can't obviously use them in a YouTube video, so I just wanted to say that as a disclaimer. This is not for sale. I have no intention of selling any prints from it, okay? So I'm going to show you how to do scan this A3 picture and get an A4 print from it, okay? So the scanner I use is called the canoscan LIDE 400, okay? I got this off Amazon a little while back. I think it was £62, something like that. You can also find really good deals on eBay, second-hand scanners, which I often do for equipment. I always look online and see if they've got the same version. Often I go on Amazon, look at all the reviews, go on YouTube, find reviews, and then I go on eBay and I try and find some second-hand equipment. But because it was quite reasonable at £62, I thought I'm going to go ahead and buy it. So it's a really good scanner. The specs on it say it can go to 4,800 dpi, but on my laptop, on my Windows laptop, I can get 600 dpi, which is enough. So it's a nice scanner, A4 scanner. It's really slim, but also, even though it's slim, you can actually fit. I'll just show you something that this is this thick, and you could actually scan that quite easily because it's got like a little lip at the end. So I just thought I'd show you that's a nice little extra. If you've got a canvas or something that you might want to scan, that might be good. Okay, so let's get going. I'll plug it in, get started, let's get going. Okay, so the scanner comes with just this little lead, which you plug in the back and then plug into your laptop. That, and then that should start making some noises to say that it's recognised it. While that's warming up, I'm going to say, always give the scanner a clean. I use these little wipes. It's a wet wipe and a dry wipe. I just used a wet wipe. I've already done it on this one. I give the glass a good screen, get rid of any little pieces of dust and things like that off it, otherwise that's going to appear on your scan, so that's very important to do that step. So I have a Windows computer, and on Windows, to do a scan, you have to type in scan and fax, or Windows fax and scan, there you go. And then this little dialog box comes up, and then you can go from there, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan, because it's an A3 sized picture, I'm going to have to scan it in two parts, okay? So get the picture. There's a little arrow there to indicate which corner it needs to go in. Make sure it's nice and square and flat. Press that down. Okay, Some people put books and things on top. I'm not going to do that at the moment, but just to get rid of any little shadows and things, to make it, to put the weight on the top. Okay, so then I go to new scan and I select the scan, canoscan here. Okay, and then this little box comes up, call AS. Now it's set default 300. I go to 600. I can't go any higher than that. If I go to say 650 and try and scan, it'll say you've entered an invalid resolution. Okay, so I've worked out the maximum that I can do from my laptop is 600. However, I've heard that you can on a Mac PC go higher than that with this kind of scan, but 600 is fine for what we want to do. It's not too loud, it's not too slow. Okay, so that's the first half of the scan done. You can see it's gone to the top of his nose really, okay. So to do it this way, and for the program Affinity Photo, you need a good overlap, okay. So for A3 size, I've figured out it's fine to just do it in 2 pieces. For something larger, you would need to do, probably do it in 4 pieces maybe even 6. Maybe go into the middle there and then pull it across if you had something larger than A3. But for A3 size, I can just do it in, I can do it in 2, okay. So new scan again. So here we go, there's the second half of the scan, okay. Now I'm going to show you how you put these pieces together seamlessly with Affinity Photo. Okay, so our documents are scanned on. The first step is to save them onto the computer. I'll just save on the desktop, I think. So go to Save As. I'm just going to call it A3 example 1. And you need to save it as a TIFF, okay, TIFF file. That's what the program Affinity Photo apparently likes. Okay, so a TIFF. I'm going to save it. Okay, and then I'm going to go same for the second half. I'm going to call it, obviously, 2. Save it as a TIFF again. Press save. Okay, so then we're done with the scab part now. And there they are. We've got 2 halves of his face. Open that up. It's not a bad scan actually. That's not bad. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is to stitch these 2 halves of the face together, and I'll show you how to do that now. So the program that you can use to stitch two or 3 or 4 parts of an image together is called Affinity Photo. Now I'm sure Adobe Photoshop do the same thing, but this is much cheaper. You get a 30-day trial with Affinity Photo. So I've got a 30-day trial on my laptop. I've also got a 30-day trial on my iPad as well. So silly me, I got them at the same time, whereas if I'd staggered them, I could have got 2 months free. Both very user-friendly. I prefer the iPad just because I've got my Apple Pencil that I can use with it to do some editing and things. I'm not very good with a mouse, with the touchpad. I do have this little USB pen tablet thing that I do use as well, but I much prefer the iPad. So I'm going to open up Affinity Photo. It's just on my desktop here. So these are the prices. See here, I've got 8 days remaining on my trial. Affinity Photo is $67.99 for the desktop version. It's $17.99 for the iPad version, and I much prefer the iPad version. So I've tried both of them out. I'm going to buy the iPad version. You can do all the same things on it. So I'm not going to buy anything now. I'm going to continue the trial, and then it will open up. It opens up 2 dialog boxes. I just close that first one down. Okay, so you've got blank screen. Go to File at the top, and you go to New Panorama. Open that. Comes up with this, and then you've got a little button here with Add. I add the 2 pictures. One. I'm just going to do Shift and select both of them. You could probably add them one at a time. There's the 2 images there. They're both ticked, which means they're going to use both of them. So if you add 4 or 5, you just make sure all of them are ticked, and then you go to this little box here, Stitch Panorama, and then that does it for you. So let's see what it comes up with. I've tried this picture before just to make sure it worked with this one, and it does. So let me press OK. And there we go. And now it's rendering it. You can see that line through his head there. It should get rid of that. Yep, he's got rid of it. Okay, so I'm just going to zoom in and just show you what it's done. You can't see anything. You can't see any lines or anything. Any creases. That looks good. Yep, happy with that. Okay, so I'm going to apply. And there we go, here's our picture. So I'm going to select the picture using this little arrow. So you can't see this little arrow here. And then I'm going to go to, I can't remember which ones it is now. Just want to turn it round. There you go, rotate. It's under Arrange. Rotate 90 degrees clockwise. And then I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Okay, then I can zoom in again then. Okay, so the next stage would be to remove all the white from the background here. So I'll show you how to do that next. Okay, so there's a few ways that you can remove the background in Affinity Photo. There's the simple way of just using the Erase Brush tool, and then you can zoom in and then just erase away like this. This would probably be my preferred method actually, but it's quite hard because I'm using the touchpad, so I would have to use the little pen thing that I showed you earlier on. I'll show you how I would use that in a second. The other way you could remove the background is using this little selection brush tool, and then you can highlight him all, his whole face. I'll zoom out a bit. You can highlight that. I've done a little bit too much there, so I'm going to go to this little bit that's subtract. I'll take away that bit. I'm going to have to add some. So we'll zoom back in. It's much easier on an iPad, I find. I'm not good at using with the accuracy and using a touchpad. Okay, so then you can copy that onto a new document, which I've already tried, so that would be me pasting it in. but you can see here it's lots of little ridges and things, bits missed off, so I wouldn't use that tool for this. If you had like a vector image or something like that, then that would be fine because it's clear edges, but not something where there's going to be like shading around the sides of the face and things. I'd much rather just go in with the eraser and just do it manually. The third way that you can do it is, so I'll deselect, is using this flood select tool, and this removes the background. So if you press that, flood select comes up, and there's a little thing here called tolerance. So this will, that's quite accurate actually. It's missed a few, so you can increase the tolerance or decrease the tolerance. So the lower the tolerance, probably the more accurate it is, but if you can't lower it too much, then it'll just have little tiny areas that it picks up. So it's picked up all wherever I've selected, it's picked up all the colour that matches that, and it's removed it. So there's a little bit here on the collar. I'll show you can see that. I'll zoom in. Okay, so I've zoomed in to the collar. I'm going to try and include all the collar in the bit that I want to remove. So then you go to the little selection brush, and then you just add in whatever you want to. So that's adding, I've just added that little bit in, and then I need to subtract all this because I want this to stay part of the picture. This bit as well, there is going to be like odd little bits and pieces that I've missed off. So let's see, that looks okay for now. Okay. So I'm just going to cut that background out, and then I'm going to deselect it. Okay. So let's zoom in and see if it's better than, so it's much better than just doing the other way where it's going to end up all little bits around the ear missing and things. There is a few little bits. Okay, so I am going to take this, use document, transparent background. I'm going to make that white so that I can see the areas that I need to. There's a little bit here that's missed off. So then you just go in with your brush, decrease the size of the brush, hardness 21, it's okay, and then go in. Now this is the bit where I would need the pen because I'm not very good with being accurate with this. So I'm going to plug my little pen in. So as I said before, this is the one I got a little while ago. It's okay. It's not the best. It's a cheap one. It does the job. Plug that in. And you get a little pen. Turn it on. And then just go in and see, I'm not very accurate. I'm much better with the Apple pen. Let's make it. Get rid of all this. I think this was about £20, I'm not sure. Just obviously lots and lots of expensive ones out there that you can use. Okay, that's probably, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, just to demonstrate it. Now these little bits around the ear here, and I kind of need to fill that in. So there's a little tool here. I've had a little mess around with it. I'm not too proficient at using them. I don't know what this one's called now, which is the clone brush. Select that. Alt and click to set a source. Alt and click. Okay, so there's Alt. I'm going to. Is that it now? There's little arrows appeared, so now you can just fill these little bits in. I'll zoom in so you can see properly. Now I definitely need a pen for this as well. These are all things that I do on Procreate or Affinity Photo on the iPad, much easier. But if you haven't got an iPad, obviously you might be a little bit more accurate than me with the mouse, or if you've got a better pen. Don't really know what it's doing, to be honest. The one on Procreate is much easier. I'm going to try and alt select and get it onto the other side. That might be better. There you go. It's probably YouTube videos on how to use the clone brush. So I'm going to alt, pick something there, and paint with it. And it's not ideal, is it really? I would much rather go in with the brush, the eraser brush, and just take my time, go in all the little nooks and crannies and get rid of them all, rather than, you know, using a program. I just want to say as well, if you've done the panorama, stitched two pieces together, but you've just got a landscape or something, you don't need to move any background unless you're done. You don't have to do any, maybe modify some of the colours and things like that you can do, some of the filters and things on Affinity Photo. Other than that, you're done. It's when you've got to, you know, remove a texture background, if you've got like an image that you don't want the paper in the background to be seen. If you've just got a whole picture or painting, then you're fine. You're done. You've stitched them together. You can export it and you're done. So talking of exporting, let's see. So I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Export. Let me see, I probably need to do the transparent background. I'm not going to take this, I'm going to do a transparent background, and then I'm going to export it again. So it's going to export it as a PNG, which means that the background's not there. The whole document, no, I just want the selection only. I'm going to put, I don't really know what much of these are. I'm going to export that. And then so you just save it. Just put 22. Okay, let's see what that looks like now. I'm going to show you the exact same process on the iPad in a second as well. So there you go. Obviously I missed a few bits out. You can take your time, do it properly. I just have to erase them, which I didn't do. But the quality of the scan is not too bad, that's good. So I'm sure you can print direct from Affinity Photo anyway, but I usually do it in PowerPoint or something, copy this into PowerPoint, I can put writing on and things like that, and then save it as a JPEG. So I'll show you how to do that quickly now. So here's a blank PowerPoint presentation. Just going to paste the image in. The first thing I would do is go to Design, Slide Size, Custom Slide Size, and here I would change this to the A4 size. So it's about 30 centimetres by 21 centimetres. Okay, ensure fit, and then you've got a nice big canvas then, there's no border or anything to work with. Make him big. You can add some text and things like that if you needed to on a document, and then I would go to Save As, Browse, got Tommy JPEG, save it as a JPEG, press save. It'll ask you how many, all slides, no, just this one. And then you've got a JPEG that you can print, which is how I everyone printed and the quality is okay. Also in PowerPoint, it's quite easy to, I haven't worked out all the settings on Affinity Photo yet, but you can also, you know, adjust, do some corrections on the darkness and lightness compared to, depends on what paper that you're using and things. I haven't found the right paper yet for black and white sketches. I'll show you the paper in part 2 of the video on what I can use for coloured stuff, for coloured prints and things. Yeah, so that's that bit done. So yeah, you've seen the print that I showed you at the beginning. So this next part of the video is going to show you how to do the same thing on the iPad, okay? Okay, so this is Affinity Photo on the iPad. So just opens it up, I go to New Panorama, and then you select this little wheel here. I'm going to select these two, add them in. You have to make sure that they're selected. Stitch. Okay. Same process as on the desktop. Seems to work a little bit quicker on the iPad as well. So I'm happy with that. Tick, apply. Okay, first thing I would do on this is I go out again. I'd go to settings, tools, and allow canvas rotation in all tools. Done. And that allows me to basically turn the canvas around, move it around. Makes things a lot easier. Okay, so same as before, you can use the brush tool, the eraser brush tool. So you've got your width there, you've got your flow. I think if you double tap, that's hardness, that's opacity, and I don't know what accumulation means. Anyway, hardness, so I'll make it quite soft, and then I can zoom it in and I can get right in there. Just so nice to use the pen, the Apple Pencil. So I can do it that way. I can use the flood select. I can press it. It's on 12%. I've selected it as the same as the other one. So there's a little bit of the collar and things that are still missing. So I'll go into the smart select and start getting rid of this. I want that to stay. Sure, done. Yeah, that's okay. And then on here, I can just go delete and just get rid of it. And then this little square here, deselect. Must be something somewhere. Convert, resize, flatten. Canvas, there you go, transparent. No, I want it white, I just want to check. Okay, so there's quite a lot missing there. So I'm going to use the this tool again to pick the area. You must press and hold to set a source for trying to clone. Don't really know. It takes a little while to get going with the clone tool, I don't really know. Okay, it's worked now, don't know what that was about. 2 fingers to undo as well, just like on Procreate, so make that a bit smaller. Filling around the ear. So it's probably just much easier to just do the initial use the eraser brush on here, really. Okay, so what I would actually probably do, because I've got Procreate on my iPad too, I would just undo all this. I want to get the background back. Okay, got a lot of memory of the 2 fingers actually. Okay, what I would probably do is export this just as a JPEG probably, best quality. Okay. Actually cancel that, I'm going to share. That's what you do, you share and save image. And then I can open up Procreate. Sorry, my camera died there. So I'm on Procreate, I'm going to add a new canvas. I've got one set here, untitled canvas, 3000 by 3000, so I'm going to use the 4000 by 3000. So you can make your own canvases and set your own how many layers and things like that you can need. There you go, so you can do that, how many DPI, 300 layers, I've got 54. You could do that one, create a different one, okay. I'm going to add in photo, which is there. And then you do all the same things. So the brush I like to use, I'll put a link to it below. You can download the different brushes for Procreate. Is this one called the Controlled Semi-Wet Smudger. I love erasing with this one because it's got like a soft edge, and it's really good for around hair and things like that. So it looks more natural than just like a really harsh edge. So I would go around the whole document till I was happy. Or you can go to, if you want to do it a little bit quicker as well, you can go to the select freehand tool and just take your time erasing all of it. You can just get rid of a lot of it. So my dog running around underneath the table. 3 finger swipe and just cut that off, and then you can go in there and clean it up with your pencil. The other thing I like about Procreate is you can change the saturation of things really easily. There's no messing about with loads of different menus and things, brightness and things like that, make it lighter or darker, and so forth. So that's what I like about that. So then I would remove the background once I'd finished, and I would share, export as a PNG, save image, and then I'll just email it to myself or something. So that's how I'll do it on there. So in the next video I will show you how to scan a smaller image and do the same thing, but on a Windows computer. You can do it on Paint 3D because you don't need Affinity Photo or anything like that, because you don't need to stitch anything together. So you can do it on Paint 3D, or you can do it on Procreate, or you can do it on Affinity Photo for the iPad. So that'll be the next video. Okay, so I'm just going to scan the little giraffe picture that I showed you at the beginning. Oh, it's upside down anyway. Save. Giraffe, JPEG. And then the giraffe, I'm going to rotate it. Rotate right. Rotate right. Okay, so now I have scanned image of the little giraffe, and I want to remove this texture background because that's not going to look great when you're printing. Okay, so 2 ways of doing this. You can copy and paste. Now I use Procreate. Usually I would probably email that to myself and then open it up in Procreate on my iPad, but this is a free program with Microsoft called Paint 3D. Okay, so you get Paint usually with your computer and things, you're probably aware of that, but Paint 3D, you just go to the Microsoft website, type in Paint 3D, I'll stick a link below the video, and download it. It's a free program, and here it is. So I will paste that in. There's a little giraffe. The only thing with paint is when you're exporting the image, you can't get to 300 dpi. I don't know why. There's a couple say it as 96, but I'm sure there is a way you can do that. I don't know which way it would, how to do it, but I'm sure there is. So I will select the giraffe and I go to this little icon. It's here or it's here. Magic select. I use this a lot. Magic select. Okay, so and then there's a little add or remove. See, a little add or remove option there. So I'm going to add all these little bits that I've missed off. And this is when you would need to use like a little pen or something, because it's, you know, you need to remove all these little white bits in between the hairs and things like that once you're done. So you just need to make sure at the first you include everything. So all these little hairs and things I'll include. Just a bit off at the bottom here as well. So anyway, we'd carry on doing that. Once you're done, press done. Zoom out. I'll give you like this little cut-out image. Then you highlight the rest of that, just delete it. Put that back on so you can see. And then I would zoom in then and then use the pen. And the eraser, you haven't really got any settings on the eraser, it's just thickness really that you've got. So you haven't got whether it's soft or hard or anything, but it's free, so. And then you go in all these little bits, zoom right in. It's a good thing about paint, I suppose, is you can actually zoom right in. And do this. Take me ages to do it with a mouse. But you get the idea, you cut all around the whole of the edge, just make sure it's lovely and clean. And then you would export it. Or save as just an image, PNG. There's a bit of transparency, I'm not sure what transparency means. It's going to remove the background. Would it not do that if it's a PNG? I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, so there, it'd save it as a PNG. There you go, save that. Desktop. There you go, you got your giraffe PNG there that you can use. Obviously take your time, cut out all of the bits properly and things, add in what you need to add in. You could always transfer this into a PowerPoint and then change like the colours and things, the tones, another. You know, if you've got Windows, then you probably have already got PowerPoint, so you can, because I find that the scan's made a little bit more, less brown, more like a purpley colour, so I could probably do something with the tone, make it more brown. See, it's probably a bit better. Yes, so there you go. Hope that helps everybody, thank you. Just a little add-on at the end here about paper and printing paper. I found this really good paper that my printer will take. It's only 230 GSM and my printer will only take maximum 250 I think, and the quality of the printer is very good actually. So I'll stick a link to that at the bottom underneath as well. Not so good for black and white drawings, I don't think, but I've found this paper, it's like a linen one, which I'll stick a link to at the bottom. That's better, I feel, for like black and white, but for coloured, like watercolour or pencil probably drawings as well, colour pencils. There's this one, really, really nice, really, really smooth. So yeah, this is the paper I like so far. It was 50 sheets for, I think it was £22–23 on Amazon at the moment. The other one, this linen one, is about £20 for 20 sheets or 25 sheets, so much more expensive. Okay, so hope that helps. I'll leave links to the bottom. All right, thanks, bye.